Hello, I'm Fishkeeper B, and this is a video about my experience with Peppered Corydoras. In this video, you'll see my 20-gallon long community tank, which has 6 peppered cories living on the bottom along with some diamond tetras and a kribensis. These are my thoughts on how they've been in this setup. Fish behavior can vary a lot depending on the tank, aquascape, stocking, and other factors. So don't take this as a definitive guide. It's just how it's gone for me. I added the peppered cories to the tank because it just seemed like the right fit. I'm not especially drawn to Corydoras as a whole. I was building a community tank. The diamonds were settled as the main schooling fish in the mid to upper levels, so I needed something for the lower part of the tank. I live in Wichita, Kansas, and our local fish store options are limited at times. When I went to pick up cories, I was at the mercy of what they had in stock. I had a general idea of what species I wanted, and peppered were on the list, so I was glad they were available. They spend most of their time solo, sifting through the substrate and grazing on the structure and plants. I was actually surprised by that. When I looked up information about Corydoras, I thought they would mostly lay around on the substrate in a big pile. That hasn't been the case at all in my tank. Sure, they occasionally rest together. Sometimes 2 or 3 will stack up, but I don't find them to be a low-energy fish, and I definitely don't find them overly social. They do interact with one another, no question, but not on the level the tetras do. Not even close. I keep them on black diamond blasting sand with oblivious and basic rock structure, and as you can see, it's given them no issues. My particular cories are pretty oblivious to the other fish in the tank. They pay little attention to them most of the time. At times, I'll see one decide it wants to school with the diamonds. It's rare, but when it happens, I think it's pretty funny. The kribensis will check the cories periodically when one gets too close or in her way, but they seem unfazed when this happens. They just move on to another part of the tank and go on about their business. People call them a cleanup crew, and it's true, but not in the ways I expected. They don't eat algae like my snails do. They need to eat. They're real fish. So don't drop them in a tank and forget about them. I feed mine pellets mainly. Once a week, I will give them frozen brine shrimp, which they go nuts for. From time to time, I like to drop mini wafers in the tank. It's hard for them to get to the wafers without the damn diamond snatching them up and swimming around with them, turning it into a game of keep away. As far as the cleanup crew aspect goes, their constant sifting breaks up waste on the substrate, so it breaks down faster. The bottom of the tank doesn't look like a wasteland because of their activity. I started with a group of 6 peppered cories, but after about 3 months I had 1 loss. I went back to the local fish store and got a replacement, and the newcomer acclimated without any issues. No aggression, no stress, just joined right in. Overall, I think peppered cories are a good choice for beginners. One thing I've noticed is how much size variation there is between individual cories. Even in the same group of 6, some are noticeably larger than others. It's not uniform at all. That's actually normal for peppered cories. Females tend to grow larger than males, and feeding hierarchy plays a role. Bolder ones eat more and grow faster, while others lag behind. Early conditions can make a difference too. Still, I was surprised by how obvious the range is. I didn't expect it to stand out this much in my tank. The same goes for their coloration. On black diamond blasting sand and a dark background, they get quite dark themselves. They blend in more than I expected, which is fine for them but makes them harder to spot sometimes. If I had to do it again, I might go with a lighter colored species for better visibility in this setup. Even with the size variation and the way they blend in, I still like having them around. They don't cause any drama. They keep the bottom active without being in everyone's face. And they're tough enough that 1 loss didn't turn into a bigger problem. They just do their thing quietly. And in a community tank like mine, that's what I was after. Something reliable down low that lets the diamonds and kribensis do their thing. So they're not flashy. They're not always in a big group like the videos show. But they've been solid for me. They add value to my community, which was the point. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I'd really appreciate any comments or questions. Interaction is the main reason I put these out there, so don't be shy. If you enjoyed it, a like helps, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing. I upload shorts from all my tanks pretty regularly, and I try to live stream at least once a week, almost always Saturday nights if you want to drop in and chat. Thanks for watching.